All right, Soccer Dad Pod. We're back. What's up, Zach?
Howdy.
We're road tripping today.
Yeah, we're in our favorite place. Well, one of the top three, for sure.
Yeah, you were quick to change that.
Well, because I know Amsterdam's technically your favorite place.
I was going to say that. Where are we today, Zach?
We are at the glorious soccer park, Worldwide Technology Soccer Park.
I still call it Budweiser Soccer Park. Sorry, Jim, Tom. Love you guys. But it will always be Bud Soccer Park. We got a new episode today. You read your dashboard. Yes, I'm going to give you a preview here in the intro. We've got some of SLSG's own, committed and uncommitted, the individual tasked with helping so many kids at the club make it get to the next level. That was awful English there, by the way.
Good.
Yeah, it's all right, man. I had surgery last week.
That's true.
My tongue's coming back.
I don't think we should talk about that, though.
Oh, man, graphic description in show notes. Go
I'm
check
having
it out.
Nightmares of what you told me.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm serious. You know what? I'm going to post it in the show notes. It's all good. Soccer world's been busy. I know you've been busy. You had a little vacation. Give me a 20-second.
Well, before the vacation, I had the most incredible sporting experience of my lifetime, which on a whim.
Did you have a hole-in-one?
No. On a whim.
300 game?
I took Grady with me to Kansas City, and on the way we purchased tickets for the Argentina versus Algeria game. So we were 35 rows.
Did you buy your tickets at a gas station barbecue shop?
No. We can go into how much of a cluster buying those tickets was. But we were 36 rows off of basically the 40-yard line on the bench side to watch Messi score 3 goals, not get a red card for the exact same thing that Flo Balogun did last night. But we can talk about that later.
Yet we digress.
Yeah.
In your life, other than Messi World Cup hat trick, what's number 2 sporting event you've ever been to?
This is going to sound super stupid, but it's very relevant to today. When Grady scored his first collegiate goal against Wake Forest, I can't really describe that. The closest thing for me was when I scored the game-winning PK against Borgia High School when I was a senior.
Yeah, we've definitely jumped the shark now if we're talking about Borgia
Exactly.
High School. Can't even spell that.
Yeah, I know, because you went to a public school.
I did.
I did too. I went to Washington.
We drank tap water.
Yeah, I went to Washington High School. I went to a public school. That was a jibe at all public school attendees, including
Everybody
myself.
Thought the staff was trying to gas us all out, but it was just water hoses in the classroom windows.
So yeah, those are my top 3 sporting events. Getting away from gassing kids.
Well, let's.
Then we went to Michigan. We went to Charlevoix, Michigan, with my dad and my stepmom and my brother and sister and their families, and we had a lovely time.
Hold on, I'm thinking. This is a family-friendly show, and I'm talking about gassing kids.
That's why I moved
so
on
bad.
quickly. Yeah.
So bad.
With kids in the room.
Let's talk about the show. Last episode, we've talked about it before off the mic. We've had him on the mic. I think it was episode 113. I don't know exactly, but his name is Sam Fink.
Yep.
STLFC alum, Edwardsville kid. Excuse me. Actually went to Wake Forest. One of my favorite people, period. Not just soccer people, but just people I know.
Yeah.
He brought his best friend, also a Wake alum, ex-MLSer, who had a brilliant story about Thierry Henry, which I'm going to tell this little story. Actually, he told the story off mic, told a different story about Thierry on mic, which you got to go back to the episode and listen to it. Off the mic, I thought this was hilarious. Thierry Henry, right? You know who he is.
Yeah, I do.
Everybody at this table, everybody listening knows who he is.
Yeah.
He's got a process in his life when it comes to his cell phone and the people that he cares about. Apparently, every 4 months, Thierry Henry gets a new number. And his person, whoever that is, goes through the phone and all the contacts. And if you're important, you stay in the phone.
Wow.
And if you're not, kick rocks, kid. You can't call Thierry anymore.
So you got to be on a good quarterly basis checking in with Thierry to stay in the...
Pretty much,
Yeah.
right?
There's a lot of friends that I haven't talked to in way more than a quarter.
So Chris played with Thierry in Thierry's last year in New York.
Mm-hmm.
Was on the team, played with him, started a couple, whatever. He made the cut twice. And he took it in stride, which tells you all you need to know about the episode, because both of those individuals are just class individuals, great stories, kind of in line with what we're going to talk about today. They talk about their own journeys, the things that they, in hindsight, looked at about themselves, and what got them to the levels that they did.
Well, and Sam, I was a season ticket holder when STLSC played right in front of where we're sitting for several years, and Sam Fink was the star that stayed almost the entire duration of the league while they were here. And when I met him at a City game, I was actually almost starstruck. Like I didn't know what to say to him, and we do this every day.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. He's one of those class individuals, and looking forward to listening to that one.
Yeah, go check it out. Great insight on their own paths, what they did, what they didn't do, how they view the game now, what they think kids should focus on, etc. A few Thierry Henry stories. We did have to broach the subject of pickleball, which is
they like to play, from what I understand.
I know.
They have a whole running game, and I think Cale Wasserman,
they all do.
SIUE is a part of that group.
No, they all do. They know that I'm trolling them at this point. I get once a month.
I'm just waiting for my call, Sam.
Pickleball pictures. I'm like, I don't care about pickleball.
I'll go to
What'd you have for lunch? Show me your burger. All right, it's time.
It is.
We're here at Soccer Park. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mr. McCarty and the boys. Appreciate you listening. Like, review, follow, share. Send it to a friend. Send it to an enemy, anybody in KC. Let them know that we take pride in trolling you guys. Feel free to PM us with your opinions. I'll read them on air. We'll be right back after this break. Quick little water. Oh, by the way, what'd you think of the tune? Little funky.
I like that. Yeah.
Knuckles. Little STL love.
Okay. The boys seem to be enjoying it a little bit too.
Check them out. They're actually, I think they're U City. The Knuckles. Spelled like it sounds. We'll be right back after this break.
All right.
High school soccer in St. Louis is massive. The popularity, if we're being honest with ourselves, dwarfs club soccer. Here's an opportunity to be part of the most popular high school soccer platform on socials this fall. The St. Louis Best 11 is looking for sponsors. With millions of impressions to date and growing, the Best 11 honors and highlights those kids, the players that represent all of the programs around our area. From public to private, 1A to 4A, and everything in between. Message the show to find out more and be part of supporting high school soccer in the Lou. Let's go. Totally curveball.
Reggae vibe.
A little bit.
Or beachy.
This is actually a fun one. This is also, again, I'm rolling the dice with non-U2 tracks so that the lawyers don't take down all my episodes. Russo and Co. RUSSO and Co. Like it?
I do.
Got a little Zach Brown
It does.
vibe
Yeah.
to it. This dude's, I think he's St. Chuck County guy.
Okay. Like a Jack Johnson, Zach Brown combo.
A little bit. Good dude.
Yeah.
Name of this song is called Key West of the Midwest.
Sounds like Key West.
Pretty kitschy.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I like playing this one too because it's summertime.
It is.
A little bit of vacay vibe.
Certainly hot enough.
Oh my God, just melting. Wait, okay. 0 wind chill -20, 100 heat index 115. What are you taking?
Is there?
It's an A or B question.
No, it's not, because if I'm out doing stuff, then I'll take the heat. But if I'm inside, I'll just take the cold.
You're standing in your yard drinking coffee.
Ooh. Yeah, that sucks. I guess cold, because I can wear as many clothes and layers as possible.
I'm with you. Mr. McCarty, Matt McCarty, question to you, A or B. Are you heat index or wind or cold? whatever.
Well, they both sound awful. I worry if you're outside drinking coffee at -20, it's going to freeze before you finish.
It's very.
But if it's -20, you have hot coffee, maybe that can make it a little bit more bearable.
Well, let's say whenever it's 115 heat index, that's actually a iced chai latte.
Oh.
So I will say this. My grandpa, he's almost 90 now. He has a theory that if you drink hot coffee in the summer, it heats up the inside of you so that you don't even
Everything feels normal.
You feel good. And you know what? He's lived to this point.
Yeah.
Does he smoke Marlboro Reds too?
He used to smoke. Now, he also believes, and I'm not a doctor for anybody listening, that it's not that if you smoke an unfiltered cigarette,
That's better for
you won't get cancer.
Yeah. I've heard that as well.
I saw that on a commercial.
So I have a one-person case study, and it's worked out. So yeah.
Man, we are just solving world problems today. No hoses in schools and unfiltered smokes. Matt, thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
We've been talking about this episode, trying to put this together for quite a while. So do me a favor for the listener, first things first. Your name's on the dashboard, but give us a quick 20, 30-second. I'm Matt McCarty. I'm from. What do you do?
Yeah, so Matt McCarty, born and raised in Belleville, Illinois.
Bell Vegas.
You know, yeah, beautiful. And grew up here, ended up going to Decatur, Illinois for about 10 years where I was on a college soccer team. And then I ended up coaching in college soccer for about 6 years before coming back to Scott Gallagher. At Scott Gallagher now, I coach 17 and 19 academy division, as well as I'm the college coordinator for the club. So yeah, really cool, sending kids all over the country to different places. It's really cool.
So let's start at the finish line here. College coordinator. How long have you been doing that, roughly?
So, man, since I've been back, and that's probably true. So 3.5-ish years.
Okay, so I know it's a work in progress because I think a lot of jobs like that at clubs, for the clubs that do it, you guys are constantly adapting and adjusting to the reality of the changes in the game, specifically the college game.
Right.
Be it roster sizes, eligibility, et cetera, et cetera. If you were to kind of give it like, what is the job title description? What is it that you really do? So, man, I do a lot of data collection. So, I mean, Javi and Kadan, when they get on, can attest. Like, me and Gavin just sent out a spreadsheet for them that they have to give us data all the time. Like, you guys were talking about quarterly check-ins with Thierry Henry. They have to quarterly fill out this spreadsheet. So I have updated videos, updated highlights, updated, have they grown? Like, are they 6'2" now instead of 5'10" when they filled it out at U15 or whatever it was? And then that data is getting blasted out to college coaches all the time. Feedback we've gotten from college coaches has been really good. Like, they think it's really organized, it's easy to read, easy to access the players. So we'll get into some of the weeds.
Oh, yes.
I really kind of want to speed up just so people understand the direction of our conversation. Okay, so you're obtaining the data of the players, which includes everything from physical attributes to academic attributes, et cetera. Okay. Right. Then you have the data. We have, the staff here is huge. The Rolodex is massive.
Right.
What does next step look like?
So then we're connecting with college coaches all the time, and whether that's me or it's Tritt or it's Gavin Cuddy or it's Martin Clays, Tim Amlong, like anybody who is at Scott Gallagher, like you said, Rolodex is huge. So now we're connecting with college coaches and saying, what are you looking for in 27? What are you looking for in 26? If we're out at an event during Gavin's games, I'm usually doing laps. I wear this really bright green pullover.
You don't wear the yellow? The Brazilian yellow?
No, not the yellow.
Man,
I wear the
that's
bright green.
My favorite.
That way, reflective, easy to see me. College coaches can find me.
Green cash.
Yeah.
You got cash.
And then we're passing out brochures, asking them what are they looking for, pointing to kids for them, and just trying to get kids in front of as many coaches as we can, whether it's text, in person, email, whatever. And then if they say, and Nathan maybe will touch on it, like when Nathan was going through the process, we had schools do that very thing, and then they'd call me, they'd call Gavin, they'd call Trit, and we just talk them through, this is what he's looking for, this is what he's doing, such and such. Very similar to maybe what there's these agencies out there now. It's very similar.
That's
a few 700,000 of them.
Yeah, that was going to be my question, where the dividing line comes down for your role versus when some of these players, might hire or sign up with a recruiting agency. And then, so that would be my first question, that kind of dividing line between what your role would be in that scenario. The other is, are other clubs in the area providing similar services, or is this a fairly unique opportunity for Gallagher kids?
Yeah.
So it's a two-part question.
Yeah, so the difference between maybe myself and these agencies is, I'm basically doing it on a budget of nil, right? So
Right.
like I'm not asking these kids for money to start marketing them, whatever. So I do have 40, 60, 70, 80 kids that we're going through, and we're just trying to get them piece by piece, each of them.
So philosophically, let me ask you, I want to stay on that for just a second. Is that something that the club has discussed as far as like, because it's not ever really been formalized,
Right.
and we talk about this.
Right.
There's not like, check this box if you want college, recruiting services. The club has a pedigree and a history and a staff and a quality line of players that ultimately land in these universities have for 50 years, right?
Yeah.
Is there a discussion that is had that is like, while it's not on our core value mission statement, is it kind of an expectation that this is
A service we provide?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something that, even though I'm saying it's a budget of nil, like we make it work. Like we're always looking for ways to improve it, right? So the programs chip in to help out. Like when we do these brochures, we're doing brochures, QR codes. We're always having conversations almost once or twice a month about, all right, how can we enhance the college recruitment process for our kids? What can we do? Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of alluded to the history of the amount of players that have funneled through to, national champions, right? ACC, SLU, lots of IU.
Right.
But then there's literally hundreds and hundreds of other schools, not only Division I, but Division II, Division III, NAIA, even JUCO in a lot of cases. Does the scale, how much is the scale an issue? In so much that this is a big club, a lot of kids, literally 600, 700, 800 schools to choose from. How do you start to like whittle that down a little bit?
So in terms of like whittle down the schools for the kids, or the
Like-
kids for the schools?
I'm speaking kind of like, I'm asking the questions assuming there's a parent listening to this that maybe, they didn't play soccer, they didn't go to college to play soccer, but they have a kid that maybe is in the club or at a club, and they're saying, I want to go play college soccer.
Right.
And they're thinking to themselves, where do I start? So the question is kind of a reverse engineer, because the options are so great.
Yeah, there's so many schools, right?
How do you start to manage that expectation?
Yeah, so I think when they're starting, so I just sent this to like the under 17s, and we were having our college ID camp out here. I said it to every kid that attended, is you need to find a list of 50, 75, 100 schools. Like if you're starting this process, and you need to email them. You need to go and hit up all these schools, cast a big net. And I even said, don't go to the NCAA Division I rankings and go 1 through 75. like that's not going to happen. So you need to
They
hit
pull
up,
out an RPI meter.
Yeah.
I'm going 80 plus.
Yeah, exactly. So like, can you get a diverse group of schools that have your major, are within distance from home that you're looking at, like these pretty basic factors, and then hit up a 50, 75, 100 schools. And then you see what you get back. And that should kind of give you an idea of where you're landing right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, hey, if right now you have none of those ACC schools are reaching out. Well, if there's no ACC schools reaching out, doesn't mean you're not an ACC player necessarily, but it means it's probably unlikely. So then we got to go, okay, most of my interest is coming from the GLVC, which we sent a large amount of players to the GLVC, one of the best conferences in Division
Name
II.
some schools for listeners.
So Maryville University, Rockhurst University, Drury, McKendree, Missouri S&T. Rob would hate it.
D2.
D2.
Yeah,
yeah. And it's a top Division II conference.
National contenders.
National contenders. I think one year they sent 6 teams to the national tournament. I can't remember which year it was.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good. Like, that level is going to be really comparable to playing Division I.
Go ahead, Zach.
So, from an expectation standpoint, and I want this to kind of be the one of the final questions before we get to the boys, because I want to hear their thoughts.
Oh, I mean, I can hear their brains grinding.
Yeah, they're getting,
gears.
They're getting
oh my
itchy.
God,
They're
why
itchy.
did I get out of bed for this?
And this is going to be hard for you to answer directly.
Yeah.
There's a level of expectation that you just set at the table by basically saying, yeah, we're providing this for our kids. We're not charging. We're not even asking them necessarily, in a direct way. So I think one thing, though, that as somebody who's gone through this, there needs to be some level set expectations from the club, from the schools, from those recruiters. Ultimately, whose decision is it and whose job is it to get these kids in front of these schools?
Oh, that's
a loaded question. So
don't mess that one up.
Yeah, I think our job mostly is we're trying to give these kids the tools, right?
Yes.
To take an ownership and really lead their process. Like, we're here to assist them in any way they can. But ultimately, it's just like with anything, the college coaches want to get to know these guys, because Matt McCarty is not going to be going to SLU and helping out whoever we end up sending to SLU. So
Correct.
The kids are going to be the catalyst to this.
And that's the answer that I wanted to make sure was crystal clear.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
That it is up to these 3 boys and their parents to ultimately go after these opportunities.
Yeah, because if you're a family or a parent of a child at U7, U8, U9, U10, and you cut that check for your kid to play at a club, and if you have this expectation that they're going to automatically get your child into college, you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. And it just grows from there.
Correct. It's not a placement agency.
Right. Correct.
Whereas agents, and I want to one last comment on agents, and then we're going to pull the kids on. I'm a fan of the service in certain situations. If you know us, if you've listened to the show, I've whittled it down. I like 2. It's Tony and Andy. Go look them up. It just is what it is, and I think it's because there's a certain amount of direct expectation. There's because you alluded 100%. To it in your question, Zach, in so much as whose responsibility is it? Especially whenever the club, and I'm piggybacking off of your answer, Matt, in that the club's job is to develop good young humans.
Right.
1.
100%.
Number 2, as it pertains to soccer, give them the skills, the toolbox to compete.
Yeah.
And then if that elevates to a point in which college is feasible and desirable, well, then good things can happen.
And they have the resources at the club to help accelerate some of those conversations.
Whereas agents, if there is a contract, there's an expectation.
Correct.
And that can be expected.
Yes.
So that being said, we told you that we had some of the kiddos. No offense, guys. I know you're not kids.
Yeah, one of them's like, I already graduated from high school.
Yeah.
I'm not a kid anymore.
He's like, I'm about to offer you a job, Mr. Anderson. 3 players joining us. Different points in the process here. One on his way out to a big-time program. Congratulations, joining us from Lafayette High School, Nathan Null. How's it going, Nathan?
Good. How are you?
Good. In the middle, you can't see this because it's an audio podcast. Javi Vigil. Oh, did I say that right?
Vigil.
Vigil.
Thank you.
Okay, I won't mess that up again.
No
Actually,
worries.
I'm just going to call you Javi.
Sounds good.
From Lindbergh High, uncommitted, senior year.
Yes, sir.
What team do you play for currently?
For Matt's team, actually, for Academy, yep.
Awesome. And then known and loved from Jersey to the Midwest, Mr. Kadan Donigan. How's it going, Kadan?
It's going good. How are you guys?
I'm good, man. You as well are a rising senior. You're right here in the Rockwood backyard.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the U19 Heartland team?
Homegrown.
Homegrown, sorry.
Screwed that up too.
It's still the surgery drugs. Give me a pass. Boys, thanks for joining.
Thank you.
I want to go to Javi, you first. You've been listening to us for now roughly 10, 15 minutes, talk to Matt about kind of what is his role? What does he do? What does the club do? What is the expectation? Just give me your thoughts on what has been said. Did anything resonate with you? Agree, disagree?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to go back to the big question to Matt about just who's it kind of on to play college soccer. And that's something that my parents have made super duper clear to me, is just that it's on you. And Matt can do as much as he can and use all his connections that he has, but really it can't be just Matt doing everything for you. You're the one who's going to play soccer, not Matt and not us. So
is that something that you believe in because you have been taught it, you were told it, you've experienced it? Because now that you're a senior and you're looking to commit, you want to get recruited, you want to go to the next level. Do you agree with that expectation?
100%. I definitely do. I think that's something that my parents have kind of said from the get-go with the whole college recruiting process, that it's going to be up to you on how much you want to put into this, and that's all you can do. Whatever you get out of it, you get out of it. But I've definitely also realized it more, too, the more I go through the process, that it's definitely a difficult, long process that you have to put a lot of work into yourself. But
Nathan, to you next, because you are committed. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Not to just any school. They're bangers. Go ahead. Name drop. Where are you going?
University of San Francisco.
There you go. Top 25 program.
That's in Colorado. Is that right?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, it's on the east side of the mountains. So you committed to San Francisco. I know enough about your path to be dangerous here, but can you talk a little bit about your timing? Because there's a lot of expectations from kids. You know, June 15th comes, going into junior year. And June 15th, for the listener, that's technically the quote, legal day. Schools can reach out and say they want you, don't want you, love you, let's talk, whatever. Prior to that, they can't. Yours was much later in the process. Give us a quick timeline of your experience, and talk about the time frame in which you did decide to commit to San Francisco.
Yeah. So June 15th, going into my junior year, didn't really apply to me because of my ACL injury from the year before. So I didn't really start. I mean, I played some fall junior year, but really I didn't start much until my spring of my junior year.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your junior year, though, because I believe you played high school. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I started with St. Louis City's Academy, played high school, played about 6 games, I think.
6 games, scored
how many goals?
38 goals.
15, I think.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. But yeah, then I had to get a cleanup surgery again for my knee, so that kind of, held it back a little bit more. But I ended up going back with Fuse, and I was able to be with their group for the Fest event in December that year. I didn't get much out of that, but at the same time, it's still exposure.
When you say much out of that, you mean college interest.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's still a great event, and at some point it applies more to the seniors than the juniors, but it's still exposure, and it never hurts,
So then junior year spring, you're with
Fuse still
a Fuse, so you go through league.
Yeah.
You kind of come to the end of that. Were you talking to many schools during that time frame?
No, there were some ID camps that I was planning on going to. I went to a couple, but I didn't have any direct communication yet. So
summertime comes around and you decide to make a switch.
Yes. Yeah, so I decided to go over to Gallagher. It's just a really good group, and obviously, all the resources they have and the commitment to helping kids get to college soccer. Like Matt and everyone else that was named. But so yeah, I came to Gallagher, and I was just like, this fall's got to be really good. It's kind of this fall is like the last like big time period you have for the recruitment, you know.
Were you? I want to slow walk this.
Yeah.
Were you stressing? Were you
Yeah.
stressed? What was going on?
Yeah, I was stressed. I mean, even like Grady, you know, he'd already committed going into his senior year. There's lots of kids that are already committed that I was friends with, and I'm like, it feels like you're really behind at some points, but really it's just everyone has different timing.
So as it's all happening around you, kids are committing to great schools. Grady to Wilmington,
Yeah.
you know, Brody Mayer. Very similar path to you in that junior year. He played high school and was kind of finding his way. He lands at ACC school, Louisville. You know, there's a number of other players that are committing. When you watched your peers around you start to commit to these schools, where was your vision as far as expectation goes? What level of school? Was it like, were you still targeting the top? Were you afraid because of the time frame and the delay? Like, oh my God, do I need to drop my expectations? Kind of walk through what you were thinking, you know, going through the fall.
Yeah, I would say I still had like a certain level of confidence that I could go to a Division I program, a good program. Not that D2s aren't good programs, but, you know, that was always the goal. So I still had that in my mind, but at the same time, you start to kind of like lower your expectation. You know, the more kids that you see commit to like top schools junior year, you know, I mean, just naturally it'll kind of go down a little bit because you're like, you know, those schools probably committed the top players that they want already. So it's like you start to lower your expectation a little bit. And for me, I had certain like academic goals that I wanted to reach. So I was almost between like a good D2, D3 school, like a good academic school, or maybe I just want to play soccer at all and I would just focus on academics.
Yeah. So to fill in the gaps here for the listener, apparently you're pretty smart. That's what I heard. Lot of numbers behind your test scores and GPA that are high. But your fall season on this particular team, you were rolling. You were averaging a goal a game. You know, the team was sitting tops in league and flex, so it was getting a lot of eyeballs. Fest comes around. Fest, you were at Fest, right?
Yeah.
What was the breakthrough point? When did you know the phone bing start blowing up for you?
Yeah, so I would say the breakthrough moment was right before Fest. Loyola Chicago, I had some communication with, and their coach came to watch at Fest. And then that first game at Fest, there were lots of coaches there, and I had a really good game. And I would say that was like my moment that I did, like, or I was at the point where I could get some communication. But to be honest, it wasn't until like early or mid-January that I really had schools like reaching out and stuff like that after the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Matt, I see you nodding along here. Chime in a little bit because you're obviously on the backside, you know, hearing the chatter from the club perspective. What were you hearing about Nathan in this process?
So yeah, just full transparency with like Nathan's process was there were schools asking about him in the fall. Now, a lot of it didn't formulate right away. And it was basically the conversations where we're hearing this kid scoring goals, we just whatever, you know.
We want to see him play.
We want to see him play.
Yeah.
Can you send this Fest schedule? So like once we got to Fest, I was in, you know, my bright green pullover doing laps and
I want to get one of those. I start walking around these events.
And it was always 27. What do you think of 27? And that's actually where a couple of your final schools saw you play.
yeah.
And then, like he goes, the holiday kind of everything shut down, and then January started up, and bang, phone calls were going. I know we were fielding phone calls for him leading up to that before they ended up making a decision on him. And I think, yeah, it picks up. The fall's tough for a lot of these kids, right? Because
The schools are in.
they're playing. So there's not a lot of college coaches out, and that's when I think a lot of the panic sets in. So when he's talking about being nervous is, okay, well, I'm not committed. Well, not a lot of things happen between August and November. And that's why Fest is at a good time, because right then, now their coaches are ready to start recruiting, and it worked out really well for Nathan.
So I have a question for you, Mr. Null, in that you saw your peers kind of getting picked up and you're on the same squad doing very similar things. From a mentality standpoint, how did you train yourself to keep moving forward to improve without getting discouraged? Because I think that's a good lesson not only for the two sitting next to you, because they're in the same boat, but for a lot of other folks that are listening. So how did you continue to push yourself, knowing that you had that, you said earlier, I felt like I was behind.
Yeah.
Realistically, you weren't,
Right.
but it did feel that way. So how did you mentally get past that to go out and perform on a regular basis?
I just think as much as you can think about you're behind outside of soccer, when you're playing the game, you just got to play it like you're a kid again. Like, that's why we all do it. It's like, it's fun for us. It's a sense of like relief from stress, like recruitment, school, whatever. So I just think you got to have a mentality that every practice, every game, you want to get better. You can take away things that you can improve on in the future, like things like that. But you really can't like think of the fact that you feel behind. Like it's not true. It's just like stuff in your head going on, so.
That's good.
Kadan, you're listening astutely here. You've heard kind of his path from the injury to the team transfers to the fall that he had. I mean, you were around it. You saw what he was doing. You guys all know.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like he was scoring whenever we would see him play every time.
When you hear that, and then because I know obviously soccer's a big deal in your house. I'm sure you guys talk about it a little bit.
A little bit.
Little hint there. What's going through your brain? Because you're at that point that he was a year ago, as a rising senior waiting. Where are you at?
I'd say my biggest thing right now is just trying to keep on talking to coaches and just trying to keep like setting up visits, setting up calls, like just because I don't know what I'm narrowed down to yet at all. So it's more of just like everyone is an option for me, to be honest.
So let me ask you a quick follow-up question. Your expectations, because I think, given your knowledge, your dad, etc. You understand terms like profile. You understand terms like need. You understand budgets, right? And most parents, right, when it comes to the game, they just think of my kid's good enough, and they're not thinking about the need of a team, whether it's a position. Maybe they have a freshman and a sophomore already. It doesn't matter how good you are. You could be a world beater. They're not going to recruit you because they have a freshman and sophomore already. Mm-hmm. For you, how do you describe your own profile? Do you think about that like, dream fit? This is the question. Dream fit versus right fit versus best fit. How do you break those down for you?
I think that basically you should just be really looking for what's the best in your interest and what's the best for you. And like personally, my dream fit, top D1, playing freshman year and getting a lot of money off, but obviously that's not always going to happen to every single player that plays soccer. It's just the brutal truth, but I think the best fit for me would be I want to play. I'm not going to want to go to a school and just sit the bench the first 3 years and then play my senior year.
You don't want to be a practice player.
Yeah. I don't want to watch the game from the bench. Worst pet peeve ever, in my opinion. But I think it's where I'm playing. I'm a contributor on the team. I think I'm a locker room guy. I love being like...
Oh, I've heard.
I love being... you could say a character. I just love being awesome with my teammates, having fun. Because when you're on a team, it's a family, in my opinion. That's what it should always be.
It's who you go to war with.
Yeah, you're going to be friends with those guys for life. You're not going to forget your college soccer teams.
It's interesting, Kadan, the way that, JB, you posed the question and you kind of skirted around the idea of who his dad is. And I think it's an important part. And the reason I want to bring it up is not to put pressure on Kadan, but to illustrate the fact that Caden's dad was a D1 coach at multiple schools.
recruited Tim Ream.
Recruited Tim Ream to St. Louis University. He still will let you know every time you talk to him.
Every time.
Should have heard him yesterday.
And he'll talk about his scholarship and what he got him to get it for. But anyway,
Yeah.
but the point I'm trying to make is not to put pressure on Kadan, but to say, even with that pedigree, your dad still is a recruiter for the U.S. men's national team.
Mm-hmm.
You're still going through the exact same process as everybody else.
Yeah.
And I think that's the point I wanted to illustrate, is that even if the connections that your dad has, or that, you know, friends of ours, or Matt McCarty, or from the show, it's still on your legs and on your brain and your ability to communicate with these coaches on getting a spot. And that's I think that's really critical, because it's merit based.
Yeah,
So,
Javi. Yeah, Javi. I'm going to ask you the same question. You know, when you hear this, and you're going through your own process, what does that conversation look like at home for you when it's, these are the schools I want? How have you managed your expectation as far as what's realistic versus what is, you know, attainable or unattainable?
I think it's definitely something that my parents have talked to me a lot about, is if you're going to go to school and say worst case scenario, you get hurt, you can't play, will you still be happy at that school?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So definitely not going somewhere where soccer is the only good thing that you like about it. So definitely majors are a really important thing for me. I make sure that every school that I'm looking at or talking to has a business major, just because it's so applicable. I really don't know what I want to do yet, so I know that's something that I can
Wait a minute.
look into more.
You're 17 and you don't know what you want to do with the rest of your life?
I don't
Kids today.
Jeez.
Nathan's like, I'm going to be a surgeon. I don't know about
Yeah.
you guys.
Null has a plan.
Matt, when you hear these guys talk about, you know, obviously their own pathways, you know exactly where each one of these guys are at in the process. But when you hear them describe their comfort level with the process and their own expectations, A, how does that make you feel? And B, how do you use that to engage with more and more of the kids that are entering into the process?
So, yeah, these two here specifically have been really good about being owners of their own process, right? They're excellent at it, and they both have parents who were connected in college soccer. So but at the same time, their parents have let them take ownership of the process and been a resource for them, which has been good. You're going to have to help me with the second part of that question. I've just gone blank.
Well, managing Dream Fit, Best Fit,
Right.
You know, like because all three of them kind of are alluding to the reality of that,
Right.
because we talk about this a lot, not only on the show, you know, and on the
In
bench
fact,
and
yeah.
at games with other families, where, you know, just because the kid is on an academy team or a homegrown team, or even playing for a true MLS academy, the thought that you're automatically going to, like, Duke is going to just speed dial you, that's not real.
Correct. Right. So I think every kid at Scott Gallagher would love to play at a SLU, a Duke, a Clemson, or whatever. The reality is that's the top 1% of, like, those are Final Four type teams. So these kids are getting it. Like, they have their dream schools, and they're going to pursue them to an extent, but they're not going to close the door on other schools. Like Kadan said, every school is an option for me right now. He wants to just play. Javi's like, hey, I'm trying to find a school that I want to be there, whether there's no soccer, even if there's no soccer. So, yeah, they've got it right in terms of they have their dreams, but then they're looking at
Let me
other
ask you
tiers.
a quick closing question. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and have some more fun here. And this is kind of open to any of you guys. You just said, you know, the Dukes, the Clemsons, et cetera, this kind of expectation of being in the Final Four and battling for a national championship. Landscape's changed. You know, there are mid-majors popping up, you know, that are competing in the top 25 annually. You look at the last 5 years, really go back 10 years, you know, starting with like kind of Marshall and certain schools that came up out of nowhere that are not the typical a UConn, a Duke, a Virginia. There are schools that some people have never even heard of that are making the Final Four and competing for national championships.
Watch out for USF and UNCW this fall.
So, Nathan, you know, I see you kind of grinning about this, because I know the one thing about all of you boys and all, you know, the boys that we're surrounded by at this club that I know personally, you fucking hate to lose, right? And you're about to go to the next level. Nathan, when you hear a comment like, well, I better be recruited by, Virginia because, I need to compete for a national title, where does that sit with you?
I think soccer is so unique because there's so many schools like USFs or UNCWs that they're not huge schools. They're not super well known, like for being Division I powerhouses. But I think soccer is unique, and like there's so many programs that have a rich history. Like they have great teams that'll compete with top programs all over the place. Like it becomes a lot of like a name game at some point, but it's really, you got to like know the roster, know the coach, know the atmosphere, and like that's what really makes a good program.
Well, like a team like Bryant. Did any of you know who Bryant was after their run in the tournament last year?
Vividly.
Yeah. So, Javi, same question to you. When you think about where you want to go, how important is it to win? Is the question.
It definitely helps. That's for sure. I think it depends a lot on kind of your squad and how some teams can have really good years, some teams can have really bad years. I've definitely thought about Rockhurst a lot more as a school for me, just because how many boys they've just sent there, and it could definitely be a good squad.
I mean, it's turning into Gallagher West is what it is.
For sure.
I mean, it's typically what we do to Kansas City anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's Kansas City school. They want kids from St. Louis.
Kansas City isn't good enough for him.
Donigan, dream. Like, I have to assume, in a perfect scenario, you're probably a Husky trying to win a national title. Is that right?
I mean, yeah, if I want to be just exactly like my dad.
They
But who said I want to do that? I mean,
there you go. Hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more soccer, college. We're going to we would be foolish not to mention the World Cup, get some of these kids' predictions as well. Soccer Dad Pod, like, review, follow, share. We'll be right back. Thank you.
16 with a brand new car.
The term staycation was really invented by soccer moms. Located 1 hour and 7 minutes from the Arch, the Music Box Chalet at Innsbruck is a hidden gem. Buried in 3 acres of private woods, the Music Box has a master suite for just you, a loft and second bath for them, and a vinyl collection to meet your every mood. The full-size kitchen will easily accommodate 3 to 12 bottles of rosé, while the huge fire pit seating area will keep the big kids busy. Golf, fishing, kayaking, pickleball, or simply reading a book with Mother Nature, all at your fingertips. Visit either VRBO or Airbnb to find the Music Box Chalet. And now, back to those guys.
remember the Weston game?
All right.
Yeah, we are bouncing genres
I know, man.
in your music selection today.
Yep.
I like
It's,
it.
You ever go to, have you ever been to a bar, Zach?
A bar?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well, there's these things called touch tunes. And if it's a good bar, it's got a vibe to it. And if it's a bad bar, it does exactly what I did today. All over the board. That's there you go. Another life lesson, man. We're ripping them out today. I'm playing this one actually in honor of my Bell Vegas friend over there. It's Belleville's own Fragile Porcelain Mice. Yeah. Never knew that, did you? I see you like.
No, unfamiliar.
I know.
How I am.
They're a little older. Fragile Porcelain Mice. I mean, gotta imagine they were having a little bit of fun when they came up with that
Totally
name.
sober.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, we're back. Matt McCarty, college coordinator here at SLSG. St. Louis Scott Gallagher. Got Nathan Null.
Let's have some fun. Let's talk about the World Cup. We'll dive back into college for sure.
Well, let me get their names out first.
Well,
I mean,
I'm going to. but I
Javi
just-
and Caden are like, what the fuck, Zach?
Sorry.
Give us some shout.
Come on, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah. So on the break, we were just talking trash, and we're going to talk World Cup here for a second, and specifically, the debate was being had between Nathan and Caden as far as like production numbers, specifically as it pertains to PKs. Real quickly, Caden, you said when it comes to PKs, are you a fan? Not a fan? You want them? You don't want them?
I always want pens.
Now let me.
Javi, what about you? That's
for
a
me
no.
personally, or
No, go ahead.
for me personally, or like
For
just
you,
pens in
yeah.
general?
It's a pin. There's a pin, and everybody's raising their hand. Do you raise your hand? Do you want it?
I have a love-hate relationship with pens. Probably, I like pens.
No.
I would agree with Javi a little bit. There's love hate, but recently it's been love. So
Well,
On a
I
good
mean, but in
streak.
your case, normally if there is a pin, it's usually because you got whacked. Don't you want your own
Yeah.
whack? You want your own
Yeah.
vindication?
yeah, I think the pins I made this year were like my own fouls. So
Do you guys team wise, as potential leaders moving forward, if there's a pin, random kid X on your team gets whacked, and there's one kid on the team that is the training ground PK master. As a leader, do you give it to the kid that gets whacked, or do you give it to the lock?
To be honest, I think whenever you get fouled, you should never take the pen. I think there's just like
Oh,
Why is that?
because
Is that like Jersey mindset?
Yeah,
Wait,
why?
where's that coming from?
every time somebody gets whacked and takes the pen, I feel like they miss it. But
To be fair, Arsene Wenger said the same thing, I believe.
So
I'm as good as him. See,
Zach said he wanted to talk a little World Cup, and I agree with him. And here's where I'm going with this. The other day, the Dutch were sent packing.
Yeah.
Everybody watched the PKs.
yep.
I had serious issue with the Dutch and one particular player. And Nathan, you're nodding yes. Who is it?
yeah, Van Dijk.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Virgil van Dijk is the captain. He's arguably top 3, top 4 Dutch player ever. Top 5.
yeah. I mean,
Marco van Basten,
Cruyff.
Cruyff. There's
A
yeah.
lot of good Dutch players.
I take that
There's a
back.
couple.
He's in the top
Yeah.
50.
but he's a good. He's good. He's a good.
Yeah, he's
Top
pretty
50 is
good.
probably safe. It's safe.
But here it is. You lose and go home. You're in the World Cup. You are the leader. This is your last World Cup, theoretically. When you saw that he did not step up as a rising college freshman in Midwest, Missouri here, what went through your head when you saw that?
I was very shocked because, I mean, he's like the leader. Like every team he's on, he's the leader of the team. And for him to not take one, I feel like it's just it was just odd to me. I didn't really know what to think about it, to be honest, but I was just like, I was shocked.
That's a good segue. Quick question here, and then Zach can roll up another World Cup question. Leadership. Javi, Kadan, either one of you guys step up here. When you go through this process and you're talking to schools, inevitably the coaches are all trying to ask these super, sneaky questions. Tell me about a time that you solved a problem, right? All of that stuff. When leadership comes up, how do you define it? How would you define leadership as it pertains to a team?
I think I would say like somebody that every player can look to for help. Like say they make a mistake, bad mistake, give up a goal. They look at their captain and he's not yelling at them in a bad way. He's just getting them up.
Go ahead, Javi.
Someone who definitely, this is pretty cliche, but who puts the team first, but also someone who leads by example, someone who doesn't just bark orders and then not do the running, someone who does the running first and barks orders later. I think
How important is leadership? I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to ask a part B of this. How important is leadership to all of you guys off the field? Within your circle, within your team, on that roster, in the locker room? How important is leadership off the field, and what does that look like?
I think everyone on the team should have a little bit of a point of leadership in the team. I don't think there should just be one. I think that whenever you're back in the locker room, everybody should be you want to be the leader. You don't want to like take a back seat. You just like everybody should be together in it, and like everyone should like just be one and like all, because if you have multiple leaders, you'll just be better as a team in general.
Nathan?
I think leadership can look a lot of different ways. Like for me, I'm not super vocal, but I feel like you can still be a leader anyways. Like showing up like super early to practice, always getting like extra reps, like always working hard. Like I think that it can go a little bit further than just saying what should be happening, but actually doing what's happening. I think it's in my opinion a better way of leadership. Not that it's bad to be like a vocal leader, but I mean both would be awesome,
Yeah.
So
But
we're going to start with you, Nathan, and we're going to move clockwise to Javi and then to Kadan. Based on your answers around leadership, who's winning the World Cup?
see, I want to say France, but
Yeah,
I think-
that's the tricky one.
I think leadership struggles with France.
Yeah.
I think there's too much talent, and everyone just could fall into doing their own thing.
Yeah, who's the leader on the French team?
the pause
I mean,
says it all.
Supposedly Mbappe, but
Can I say Olise?
Oh,
thank you.
He's
absolutely
created
can.
so much for France in
I
these
think he's
past
the,
few games.
he's the best player on that team.
He's had quite a few assists.
So you guys are really, really lucky in so much that here you are in your kind of youth playing prime, high school going into college. I remember, frankly, it was exactly the same for me. It was my freshman year of college, the 94 World Cup, first time here in America, right? I remember what it meant. Now, at that time, clearly, MLS was 2 years away. You know, we're old dudes. We didn't have all the options, right? As a kid, as a player, as a fan, as elevated players that are now going on to the next level and getting ready to go on to the next level, watching this World Cup, you know, all of the facilities and the explosion and the social media, because obviously social media didn't exist in 94. You know, who's more popular than Erling Haaland in America right now, right? What does it mean to you to be an American kid in the Midwest at a top-notch club that's getting ready to go play college soccer, to be able to turn on every single day and watch the world's best in your backyard? What does that mean to you?
That's definitely one thing that I sometimes wish I lived in a Spain or a country where soccer is definitely the only sport and the biggest sport there. That's kind of how it feels like right now with so much soccer being on TV and people talking about it. It's perfect. It's in the summer and you can watch soccer whenever. It's great.
So you didn't tell me, Javi, who you're picking.
Based on leadership.
Based on leadership. I think I'll just go with France. I really don't know if there's a team that I've seen that has great leadership, but also has the ability.
So, Kate, let me ask you guys this then, and then we'll get Caden. We'll get your answer. Who is England's leader?
Harry Kane.
I was going to say Kane.
Yeah, I would agree.
It was so.
But is it more along the lines of what you were describing, Nathan? Because he
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be super vocal.
Yes, I would agree. And I would say the same thing with Messi, too. I think he's a lot of just lead by example. And at this point in his career, he's
Just
probably
walk
more,
around and score goals.
Well, yeah. I think but that's when it
Actions.
comes, like, off the field and stuff like that. Like, just, I'm sure his everyday routines are just, like, perfect. And it should be what everyone is, like, striving to go for, you know?
Who do you like in the tournament?
I like Spain. I think they can definitely beat France. I think they just need to play as a team and really just because that Cape Verde game was insane. They tied them, but after these knockout rounds, they're going to get in a groove, and I think they'll be able to make it all the way.
So let's talk about USA then. Obviously, you know, about 20 yards over my shoulder, there's a kit representing the current captain of the national team. He was a Gallagher kid, right? Grew up in the club. You guys watch what Tim Ream is doing, what the national team is doing, what Balogun is doing up front. Let's not talk about the red card. Give me some names quickly. We'll go rapid fire. You know, name a player and maybe an attribute or kind of a style or something about them that you like about this tournament that either you were surprised by, that you weren't expecting, or that you're just really proud of. You go first, Nathan.
I would say Weston McKennie has really impressed me. His just ability in the wide areas, especially like with being a midfielder and just creating overloads on the outside, it's just been like unstoppable.
Who you like?
I've enjoyed watching Balogun. I saw a finishing drill of him before the World Cup started, and I was like, oh, this guy's looking pretty good. And then he's definitely showed it in this World Cup.
Who stands out for you, Caden?
Malik Tillman. I think he creates he doesn't go unnoticed, but I think the work that he does to create all of our attacking chances, because him and Pulisic and Balogun are just powerhouses up front right now with us.
So for the past year plus, roughly, the American soccer, quote, smart guys were really knocking this team. pointing to their underperformance, pointing to Pochettino, making, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing, blah, 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 right? A lot of negativity, all the way up to the Germany, warm-up in Chicago prior, where, lose the game, look good, but lose the game. And everybody's like, oh, my God, here we go, How do you view that side of things as players? You have your teammates. You guys all know that there's tension, within locker rooms, on the field, etc., and expectations. How does it make you feel when you see the United States team currently, in essence, bucking the trend? Right? They're proving everybody wrong. What does that say about the team? What does that say about the coach? How are you viewing that at this point in the tournament?
I'd say, first of all, it being in the U.S. is a real turning point just for all of Americans viewing the national team. I think everybody's, especially right now, because we're into the round of 16, I think everybody's behind them. We're backing them up. And I would say Pochettino's done well. I mean, he's made the right decisions. That Turkey game, obviously, didn't mean anything. But other than that, I think we've looked really well. Yesterday, I was telling my dad, we were just, pinging triangles around Bosnia at points. We, even with a man down.
In the air.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were, it was one play I remember. It was, Pulisic, McKinney, and Serginho Dest. They literally were just in a triangle passing around 2 Bosnian players. And I was like, we look good. We look sharp. But they look good overall, in my opinion.
Go ahead, Nathan. What do you think?
In my opinion, I think USA has played probably some of the best soccer from a tactical standpoint. I think getting shapes, getting numbers in the right spots, I think they've played probably the best as a true team. And just to see the connection with all the players, and it's a real family, like you said before. I just think it's super cool.
McCarty, let me throw this to you because as the lone coach sitting at the table here, throughout the whole World Cup, there's been tremendous commercials. I love the commercials. I think the commercials of the World Cup are blowing away the Super Bowl commercials. First off, there's one commercial in particular where it's the guy sitting in the pub and dare to dream. What if we could win the World Cup? And the other guy goes, Are you crazy? Blah blah blah. And then it's Eruzione sitting at the bar. What? You don't believe in miracles, right?
First of all, do you guys know who Eruzione is?
Have you seen the movie Miracle?
From the hockey team.
Yeah.
Okay, it's one of those guys.
Yeah,
Only he's much older and fatter.
I had to explain
Ignore
to
that.
every person I watched that commercial with because they're like,
who's that guy?
Who's that guy?
Here's where I'm going with this. The Herb Brooks theory of what's going on. Because for those of you that are listening, Lake Placid, U.S. playing Russia in the semifinals, Herb Brooks puts together a team of college kids that beats the mighty Soviet Union, right? That's the miracle. And he built the team based on the movie and based on all known accounts. He made them a singular unit to where the only enemy was anybody outside of the circle of the players, including the coach. Watching this World Cup and hearing all the narratives as a coach and what we were just referencing, the past year of everybody naysaying on the whole team and Pochettino, etc. Do you think Poch is pulling a Herb Brooks?
I think he's developed a really good, from the outside looking in, right? And that's as good as we can get. It looks like a good team culture. It looks like he has a group of guys that are selfless and willing to serve the team, which if you want to go far, if you want to quote unquote overachieve, that's what you kind of need. You need a group that's going to work collectively. We don't have as much talent as Spain or France or England or insert big nation here. But if you can have this sense of togetherness and cohesiveness and pulling together, so for example, Balogun being out in the next game, super talented player, it's really going to be tested against Belgium.
Yeah.
That team culture is going to be tested because now there's some more adversity. It was tested after the red card because, all right, how can you go 35 minutes with adversity? It's always easy when it's easy, right? When you're winning. And so when you guys talked about leadership with France, their character hasn't really been tested in this World Cup because they just kind of steamroll teams. So you find out when it gets hard. And the U.S. has had a couple moments where they've really had to see when it's hard. When he put in the reserves against Turkey, when we went down a man against Bosnia, and Bosnia is a good team. So I think he's created a culture that is it feels a little bit different than maybe the teams we've had in the past. So yeah, I think it is. I think it's pretty cool.
I'm just still in awe that he didn't sub anybody after the red
85th
card
minute.
to the 85th minute, which is unbelievable. I've never seen that strategy, and it worked. So just impressed so far. And I love the fact that we're talking about this because in a previous episode before the World Cup, we were talking about how there was just kind of the prima donna approach by some of the Pulisic not going to the Gold Cup last year, and McKinney and his, off the field stuff, and the Gio Reyna story, and all these different individual stories. How was Poch going to bring them together? But when you watch him sing after the game last night, Country Road, which how the guy from Argentina know that song?
It's called Touch Tunes.
And if you watch the documentary on HBO where when they lost the Gold Cup and he was bawling and he said, "Football is everything to me." He has created that passion and that camaraderie because he lived it on the Argentina teams, on his pro teams. It's just been fun to watch. I do have a final question for you guys on the college topic to kind of not close this out necessarily, but you guys are probably watching this like my family is and my son getting pumped up for what's coming in the next month because you, Kadan, and Javi, you're starting your final club season. Nathan, you're moving all the way across the other side of the country in a couple weeks. So what are you guys most excited about for this fall? And it's going to be different for the three of you because you have different things going on. But I just want to get an idea. And Javi, we'll start with you because you're looking right at me.
Yes, thank you. I definitely
He's
have
got
a lot.
steely eyes.
He does.
Like he's a circle guy. He's gonna
Yes.
stare at you.
I definitely have a lot up in the air for my fall season, but definitely just playing at a level that is challenging to me and forcing me to get better, and playing with guys who are better than me is something that I definitely want to do. So that's what I'm looking most forward to,
Awesome.
and just being a team setting after this break too.
Very cool. Kadan?
Oh, okay. I'll go. No, I think obviously for me this year, I think D1 is my goal, but obviously that doesn't mean that I'm not going to go somewhere else. But I'm also excited for the opportunities that are going to come up in this next year. Like Nathan said a while ago, like this is kind of like my time. Like this is the half of a year, quarter of a year that is really going to be big for me. Like, yes, colleges have seen me in the last years, but I think this will really show, or it will really prove to guys that I'm good enough to play at a good school that are going to be contenders in the college cups. And I think, yeah, I'm nervous about it, all that, but I think that it's going to be really good for me and it's going to set some adversity, but I'm obviously ready for it. So.
Yeah, I think I'm just excited for the new atmosphere. It's going to be pretty different. Like, you don't have your family, always around to support you and everything, so it's a lot of independence being in college. But I think as far as, like, a soccer standpoint goes, I think it's just kind of like Javi said, like, being challenged every day, kind of stepping into the unknown. Like, you can have ideas of, like, what to expect, but just actually being able to get there and like see what it's really like, and I'm excited for the challenge.
So I want to throw one last thing across here, and then we're going to get everybody on their way real quick. But I want to talk about the importance of a skill set, of a because when we think of soccer, what are the four pillars? Who's first? This is quiz time. 4 pillars of a soccer player.
Technical ability.
Technical.
Like determination or like passion.
Well, I'll speed this up. Technical, tactical, physical, and mental, right? Those are the 4.
That was mental.
A subsection of mental.
Coach McCarty, you might want to work on that. 4 things, right? That's kind of like when people evaluate players, or even they evaluate like a squad, like a national style. We hear this often. The one thing about kids that are coming out of this environment, the club environment, that are wanting to go play college soccer, there's a fifth thing. There, a tool that's in the toolbox that if you're not, that if it's not in there, you're not going, and that is grades. Yeah. Nathan, without the grades that you have, do you A, get the offers you get, and B, looking back, would you try even harder at school if you could?
I would say without the grades I have or had, I probably would not have gotten all the offers. As far as like, it can play a big role for scholarship money, especially. And it, as a school, when you see someone that you can offer a good amount of academic money to, it's a real like schools love it because it's less athletic money they have to give you.
Matt, how important is it? Because you field these calls daily, generically and directly.
Yeah, so I think a lot of the conversations we have with these college coaches is they want to invest more money in the older, more experienced, more seasoned player that's a known commodity. Okay, we know he's going to be good. We know he's going to give me 10 goals because he gave me 8 last year. He gave me 10 last year, whatever it may be. So a lot of these freshmen or first-year players are going to be on very little athletic money, maybe no athletic money. So the academics is going to be really big if you want to make this thing affordable for you and your family. So that's why I always push, like, academics have to be good. In Nathan's case, it was great because also college coaches can kind of look at it from a Moneyball standpoint. Like,
yes,
I can get Nathan Null, who I know is going to get $25,000 in merit, and he's not going to cost me athletic aid. Or I can get a kid who's just the same, maybe even a kid who's a little bit better, but I have to give him $20,000.
Well, that's where I was going with this.
Right.
For those of you that are listening, and these three sitting at the table, they know it, and Zach, you know it better than anybody. If you have pound for pound 2 players, 3 players, 10 players, they're all the same technically, tactically, physically, mentally, but one of them has the 4.0 and the rest are 3.75. You know who's going to get the phone call first? 4.0.
Yep.
Easy.
So it just really is that simple. So put in the work on both sides. So that's my parent PSA for the day. Boys, final question. World Cup. You can't pick France. Who wins it? Nathan, you first.
I would say Argentina. Spain doesn't impress me.
Ooh.
I like Harry Kane, so I'll go England.
I said Spain, but you know what? We're going to go with USA.
Ooh.
Oh,
There he is. We needed a homer on this show.
Oh my God, his dad just started crying in real time.
he
That's
did.
my boy. McCarty, who you got?
Yeah, I can't pick Spain. I mean, I can't pick France.
Nope.
Oh, man. You know what? Morocco looked good. Let's go with
Oh,
Morocco.
wow.
The dark
Let's
Yeah.
go Morocco.
Norway's still my dark horse. Still.
Holland.
Mm-hmm.
Odegaard.
Holland.
Yeah.
Odegaard. I mean,
Oscar Bob.
Oscar Bob.
Oscar
Yeah,
Bob.
They're still my dark horse.
Scores goals.
Man, you know,
A lot of them.
I'm so torn. You know what? I'm going with Kadan.
I love it.
I'm going to go with the US of A.
Let's go.
90 minutes is 90 minutes. Anything can happen.
I
And as
agree.
long as you I believe, fuck. Did I just pull out
You did.
Yeah.
You
a
did.
Ted Lasso?
You did.
All right,
okay.
that's perfect time. We're done. All right, Soccer Dad Pod. Kadan Donigan, Nathan Null, and I got to pronounce your name right, man. Javi Vigil.
View.
Vigil. Damn.
You're pretty, spot on.
Close.
Spot on.
That was good.
Class kids, Matt McCarty, thanks for joining us. If you're a college coach listening, you want any of these fine young chaps that have not signed, give Matt a call. He'll help you out. There's plenty on the roster that can come your way as well. That's our solicitation part of the show. Zach, well done today. Enjoy your 4th. Everybody enjoy your 4th. You're going to be listening to this
Thank
after
you.
the 4th. But, guys, good luck with everything coming up.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, here we go. We're out. See ya.